I really don't think you can write them off, and we could see some crazy stuff coming out from Bowl with Jimmy and the boys.
Yeah, one thing that we've noticed from DC is that I think every time they finish a draft,
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, DC's got the better draft.
Yep.
So I think that's one strength going into this series, because I feel like that's a lot of the strength that Complexity is also relying on. They generally do win in the draft, and the game that they just lost against EG, I think was mostly due to the draft. In terms of what we're expecting from the series, okay, the draft is happening.
Yep.
I think we're gonna see really aggressive plays for the first 10 to 15 minutes. Boba, if he gets his like clockwork or Slardar, he's gonna be running up and down the river, and I think that's where EG and Optic didn't really punish. I feel like that's something that Complexity got away in their 2 previous series that DC won't let them get away. So what are the heroes being banned? Because I can't.
We can't tell yet.
We've got a
We'll
Night
keep you
Stalker.
up to date. Oh, you can't tell.
Yeah, we've got a Night Stalker, we've got a Nyx Assassin and a Lich being banned out by Complexity.
Digital Chaos will start on the Dire side, Complexity on the Radiant side.
And then DC banning out Beastmaster and Sand King. I'm very happy that they banned out the Sand King, as I've been saying in some of the casts. I think that really is one of the heroes you have to look at. I know last series, Game 3, it didn't look too great for me, but still the fact that every other game he's played, he's absolutely amazing on the heroes. And already a different change up to the way that Complexity want to start this draft. They come in with a first pick Vengeful Spirit. So a very different approach to the way that they have been picking up heroes in the other games. You know, they've sort of been prioritizing these SKs. Obviously, they couldn't get the SK this time, but like the AAs, the Kunkka. And I guess once that Sand King is taken away from them, it maybe just forces Complexity to take a bit of a different approach. Getting the Venge, we don't really know if it's going to be support or core. We know these NA teams do feel confident running it in both places.
Something interesting, I think. Both Optic and EG always are okay having Radiant side, but both DC and Complexity prefer Dire. So we've seen, for example, previous series, Complexity was Dire in all 3 games. This time they're forced to go on Radiant because DC is the one to have the Dire side this time.
Some quick picks from DC to start off in response, as they grab both the Nature's Prophet and Slardar. We saw some ups and downs yesterday from Bulba Slardar, but you know, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and expect to see some big plays from him, not to be sort of shaken by the bit of a, as I say, a couple of dodgy games, dodgy performances. But Bulba, very nice play from the boy. He can do some amazing things. Sure. Complexity keeping the push very strong with this opening. They've got the Venge and Jakiro combination.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking to keep the pressure on and take those objectives very fast. And DC so far with the Nature's Prophet and the Slardar, there's no real wave clear, no real way to react directly to that. Sure, they've got the split push and pick-off potential, so we'll see how they address that lack of wave clear in these last 3 picks as they come through, and what they're scared of Complexity adding to their push lineup. See what they do with this 4th ban.
So I'm not really sure what role the Venge or the Jakiro could be played at.
Yeah.
Because they could both be the hard support. Sometimes we see teams running Venge as a carry. Sometimes we see Jakiro being ran as an off lane. I'm putting them both in the safe lane right now, assuming that it's going to be a position 1 Venge and a position 5 Jakiro. But these heroes are very versatile, and they could change.
Yeah, and if there's ever a team to do some crazy stuff with it, it would be Complexity. And because we know in the past they do love their core Jakiro.
Phase 2, any spicy bans that
No, we just got the AA ban from DC.
Okay.
And Complexity still thinking about what they want to take away from Digital Chaos. I wonder if we do see the Lifestealer ban at all. It's something that DC feel very likely to pick up. We know that Mason likes to play it. They've got 2 heroes already that are very good with the Lifestealer. Having that set up from Slardar, and also the global TP from Nature's Prophet can be very nice, moving the Lifestealer around the lanes. Viper being the next ban from Digital Chaos. Something that would be very strong in sort of this mid-game push that Complexity's lineups looking to lean towards. And also a hero that could be quite annoying for the Lifestealer if they do want to go for it, and indeed, I'm no surprise there. Complexity do ban the Lifestealer. I think it's very, very apparent that DC were going to pick it. I'm sure DC, they've got other plans, but taking that Lifestealer away is definitely something that I feel is an easy choice for Complexity.
10 seconds remaining.
Indeed, so we're looking towards some new picks here.
5 seconds
Very soon,
remaining.
DC. I mean, they got their draft pretty open as well. Well, saying that, DC is not one to run Nature Prophet as a 5, right? We're gonna assume
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Slaughter
It's
4
gonna be MSS.
offlane Nature Prophet. Yeah.
I mean, to be a bit fair, if they want to do something crazy, we know that Quaife was very good and he has played the mid Nature's Prophet. I don't think he's done it on DC, but definitely in previous teams. I believe when he was on the team with Cinder, and we saw Quaife play the mid Nature's Prophet in a few games. He played it very well. I think it's unlikely that we'll see it here, but I'm just saying it could happen.
Remaining.
Dazzle to be the next pickup for DC, the position 5.
5 seconds remaining.
And definitely focusing on this armor strat.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the hard hit is going to be, that hero they want to get Mason on. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it is most likely obviously MSS on the Nature's Prophet, then looking for Quaifer's hero, something like getting him the Death Prophet that we see him pull out a few times the other day. Could be very nice with this amount of minus armor. And coL, no surprises here really, just continuing to build towards this very strong mid-game push, this fighting potential. And there's the Death Prophet. I don't think there's any surprise there at all. This is just classic DC through and through. They'll be feeling very comfortable with this lineup. And, you know, as much as we've been talking about complexity having a good amount of push, DC themselves now with this Death Prophet, this Dazzle backing it up, are going to be feeling very strong as well. And I think the sort of the final 5th pick that you're looking at, your complexity that DC are probably going to want to get their hands on, could even just be Mason on the Faceless Void again.
Yeah, we saw the combination yesterday, the DP Faceless Void. And the way that it failed against EG is that they couldn't use their ultimates in a way where they got them a ton of objectives. Sometimes they would get only 1 to 2 kills, but because the cooldown is so long, I remember EG was able to just like, okay, you whiff your ults, we're going to take Roche now, or we're going to take a tier 2 now. And there was one base defense where they whiffed the Chrono, and that was the whole game. So if they do go for the DP plus the Void, they got to be very careful, because if you look at Complexity's draft, they don't really have any cooldown on their ultimates. So I think as strong as DP and Faceless Void will be, maybe picking a lower cooldown ultimate will be better.
Yeah. There's the Sven for Complexity. Nice answer to a lot of the things really that are coming out from DC. The fact that they've got it against the Nature's Prophet. We see a lot of times where Nature's Prophet is picked and Sven is banned because it is so strong against them. And obviously all the minus armor. Yeah, you've got that war cry.
5 seconds remaining.
Very, very strong here for Complexity, and just interested to see what the final balance is going to be from DC. As we said, there is still the flexibility with whether Complexity are going to play these heroes, whether it's going to be sort of the mid or the offlane Jakiro.
Yep. I've currently moved Jakiro to a 4 position, but the offlane is open, like you said. So I'm not too sure where the Twin Head Dragon will go to. But you guys are in agreement that Sven will be the 1 and Venge will be the 5.
Yeah, I think if Sven shows up, you know, yeah. Unless there's something very unorthodox that they're going for, it should be just.
I mean, we've seen Kuro play position 5 Sven, so I don't know. Like, anything is possible.
This is true.
They also lost that game when he played position 5 Sven, so.
Judging.
Yeah. Final bans? I can't see it, so you guys gotta help me out.
It is a Queen of Pain ban on the side of Digital Chaos.
I think it's someone that could be a little bit of a nuisance for the Death Prophet to lane against. Sort of
so they're expecting the puck to be off lane.
They are.
Yes.
They're expecting it to be a moo puck.
5 seconds remaining.
But it does depend. And it could be because the puck against the Death Prophet can have a few issues if the silence comes out early. If you use the orb aggressively at all, and suddenly DP is able to close the gap with the siphon.
You know, in all the previous series that we saw Complexity in, every single first phase bans from EG had an IO in it. Complexity doesn't seem to want it at all. Or do you feel they might still go for that? Is that still a thing, or is it like why did they ignore it?
They can fit IO still in the draft, and IO tethering up, giving Axe, so let's say puck will be very strong. You put the puck mid, Jakiro off lane, or vice versa, puck off lane and Jakiro mid. It might just be a strategy that they haven't actually practiced with yet. I think Complexity definitely have IO players, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think DC do. I think DC is one of the few North American teams that don't have a IO specialist. At least I haven't seen Jimmy or Demon play IO just yet.
Me neither.
Which, by the way, is also why I think they ban out the Sand King. Because I don't think they have a good Rubik player either. I think Demon plays it, but maybe not to the level of crit. So they can't really say, okay, you get the Sand King, we get the Rubik.
Yeah, like we saw EG previous series.
Right.
Yeah. All right, well, we are waiting for Complexity to select their last pick. Then we'll also hopefully reveal where the Jakiro and the puck are going. A little bit of flexibility still left for them.
So I think Complexity is making those final decisions to say where they want to actually lane everything. And having their best guess at what DC are going to finish with. Obviously with the Razor Band, very good against this fan. They don't want that to get through. Does leave the Void still there. And I feel like Void could certainly still be good. I mean, so obviously they do have to swap to take them out the chrono for DC. But so Complexity's final pick, it will be the Lina. So looks to be, as we'd imagine it, the Jakiro and the Venge will stick to their standard support roles. I actually say that Lina, of course, could still be a support combo with one of them if they do want to run a core Jakiro.
They have a lot of disables, but yeah, I think the more logical one is the Lina mid, I guess. I mean, but yeah, there's an option for them to still swap it about a little bit, throw people off guard. What do you expect for DC? Are you still thinking the Void?
I still think the Void can be okay. I'm trying to think what else Mason might be liking and wanting to play. I mean,
Anti-Mage is still in the pool.
Ooh.
it is
There's a lot of
bit
stuns
tricky.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want a core that's
And there's a silence.
pretty
too.
resistant to the stuns, which there's very few in between. Like, I think Void is still the safest one because he could get away.
I mean, there's a lot of sort of dodgeable stuns. I don't think we'll play like the Weaver.
Ooh, they go for the gyro.
Okay.
It's not like a lot of synergy with the team, but it's definitely a very strong hero.
And it's actually at the moment, yeah, Z-Freak is on the puck.
Okay,
So
position 4 puck.
A position 4 puck. We've seen some teams do this before.
So
And Moo playing the core offlane Venge. We'll see if they do swap, which they may do so, but at the moment, that's it. That is how it is. We're
Alright.
seeing some Z-Freak puck
so who's
position
the
4
offlane?
shenanigans. Moo's playing Venge. They'll probably do
Okay.
some sort of dual lanes. You imagine probably Moo going to the bottom lane, maybe with coL, having that Jakiro
Yeah.
Venge pressure that they can put on at the start and try and bully Mason in the lane. But DC may go aggressive with their own and try and dodge that and try and get the upper hand at the laning stage. We'll see.
All right, Lumi, you're up first. Who do you think is going to take this first game?
I feel like the draft is really hard to read because you have players playing really weird position like the Z-Freak puck.
Mhm.
While I like Complexity's draft simply because everybody's got a stun. So when the chaotic gets going, 5 stuns is pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Complexity for Lumi. What do you think, Owen?
I think that I've got to go. I'm going to go with DC actually. I know.
Alright.
I'm looking forward to it because I know Complex are going to do something kind of fun with the Z-Freak puck and such. But you know, we saw Mason. I think he's stepping it up. He played a very good Tiny, sort of doing the same way that Arteezy played Tiny. Now he's playing the Gyro that we saw Arteezy play. You know, these two I think they're very sort of similar players. In
I'm
terms
going
of
for Complexity, by the way.
Wow.
But we are going to
On
find out
DC.
who gets the upper hand in this best of 3 lower bracket. Over to Grant and Capitalist.
What up? How's it going, guys? How's it going, Cap, man? It's been a while since we cast together, and what a great game to do it for. coL and DC.
Yeah, when did we cast last?
I don't know. I think it
Hub or
was
something?
or I remember we cast some NA games, but
All right,
here we are.
get ready, Grant.
This
I
looks like-
hope your play-by-play is prepared for this.
Oh, I'm ready. We do have the 5 stuns. I mean, DC has to know something's up. Look at Qualifier actually going to catch him out here. That smoke, and he's just going to run away. Is that going to be it? They have the Treants tanking up, and looks like I don't have to get ready quite yet. Nice scouting out there. Actually, on the other side, just Treants get a run at him, maybe block him out. Do they want to fight this Z-Freak puck? He's down. Okay, they're going to farm these up. Interesting. Now they're going to get a stun over there. They're going to stun up MSS. I don't know why they were chasing. Looks like they're going to get him. Grave comes out. Now Chessie in a ton of trouble as well as coL. Another stun from Venge, but Chessie looks like he's going to die first. Mason just running around with Flat Cannon. Looks like they're going to find Z-Freak. Nope, he will orb downhill. Nice double stun by Limp on Demon as well as Quoitva, but now they're in a little bit of trouble themselves. And looks like it's going to end at a 1-0 for DC with Grave skilled first.
And they're going to be able to get the potential. Okay, looks like Complexity are going to be able to get 3 runes.
But Bulba does bait out that stun, and Limp's almost out of mana there without a Clarity middle. That's pretty bad as Alina middle.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bait by DC. Like just going, okay, we're going to pick up Shallow Grave, just put someone on the front line to kind of bait Complexity into turning and looking for that first blood. And then just the big turnaround where they're able to get first blood themselves. I think this this lineup, to talk about Complexity's lineup, it's pretty interesting. For me, the last pick, the only thing I was really assured was that Lina was going to be the core. I really think this last pick, once again from Complexity, solves a lot of issues for them. It gives them a good matchup versus the Death Prophet mid, and a lot of burst damage against both the the Death Prophet, which is important, and a hunting hero against the Fury.
Oh, bottom lane, actually. If Boba gets some body blocks, this could very well be a kill. And it looks like he will. Can he get under there? Nope. MSS himself doing it. Nice done under the tower, but unfortunately, Boba's not taking it. And look at this. coL in trouble now, too, but Jakiro, 700 HP, no stat items.
MSS, man. Great body blocks with the treants. Really well done.
Boba set him up, and then he finished it off. And Z-Freak middle, Orb of Venom first puck, just harassing out Quake. But what's like, I mean, maybe you don't even know, I don't know. What do you get accomplished as a support puck?
I am presuming just harassment.
No, I mean, the last time I remember seeing it was Cred, so another NA player. And they won the game, but I was like, what did this puck do
Yeah, what did it
that
do
another
for
hero
you?
wouldn't do, you know? I guess just shake up the draft a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can be a little bit more liberal with your 4 positions now because the ease at which you're able to pick up bounty runes one after the other really helps you gain levels as a 4 position roaming around. So as long as Z-Freak does manage to get his levels and gets a Blink Dagger, you essentially think like everything that you would accomplish as a core, most of it's going to be accomplished as a support. But in the early game, you're obviously going to be pretty questionable.
Bottom lane, Boba could be in a little bit of trouble. The rune is taken by Chessie. Do we have anything? Just body blocks from Kyle. Chessie hitting him up, and Kyle with that last right click will pick him off. Z-Freak, on the other hand, is fighting Demon one-on-one. Oh, it's going to be great for his spaceship.
Oh no, he doesn't dodge it.
Demon takes him down, and Boba says, I'll take a little bit of that experience as well.
And they're going to go and take away the bounty runes. So the other thing to think about for Complexity's lineup is the off-lane Venge compared to the support Jakiro and what they would accomplish if their roles were reversed. Because the Jakiro, I think, is probably the more common sense off-laner. Yep. But I do think Jakiro does a lot more for you in this lane, right? Eventual Spirit as the support would do nothing against the
top
Fury.
lane as well. Mason getting stunned up. Z-Freak will slow him down a little bit. That Aura of Venom. He's trying to get the body block. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Z-Freak needs like 2 or 3 more hits here. Won't get it. If he got that body block, could have been the kill.
Yeah. The Orb of Venom is a good choice for this support puck. Does add a lot to your harassment value, because one of the best things about puck is him being able to trade against range heroes fairly well.
And look at that, the wave of terror. Z-Freak just hits them, harass him down a decent chunk. Middle getting pinged out. I mean, Lina is a super gankable hero early game. And no ward scouting Boba out. He's going to be running in here, level 2. Not yet. He does have boots as well as wind lights plus sprint, so he moves quick. Unfortunately, Limp's doing a good job right-clicking Quakeva, bringing the creep wave back in his favor.
I think Quaifa has to get the slow off first, and there he goes.
There it is. Will that be enough? Limp get a run in. He's getting the stun up. Nicely
beautiful.
done. And now Boba. Oh, guess who's here, though? MSS, but unfortunately, he blocks him out with the Sprout. And, well, Limp will just scurry on away.
I'm not sure if MSS... obviously, if he was in a better position, it would have been better to throw the Sprout in front of the Lina and completely block out that path. But I don't think he was actually at the range to be able to do so.
This, you know what I mean? Already the levels coming up. The Radiant, Kyle's almost level 4, while Slardar as well as Dazzle only level 2. I guess that obviously takes a little bit away from Sven, but Sven just wants items, right? You know, you get Brown Boots, Mask of Madness, you farm up plenty in the late game. You just want that gold.
And you do have a lineup that's going to create a lot of space for you, especially since the Vengeful Spirit core is doing very well. They're spending so much time in the Slardar trying to put pressure on mid and as well as bottom lane and enable the Furion, that Venge is oftentimes getting a 1v1, or in this case, even a 2v2. So he's doing pretty well, and as long as he gets some okay farm, he's going to turn into a nice fighting core for Complexity, creating space for the Sven.
Top lane, we see fake TPs coming out of MSS, and just having that global presence, though. DC probably happy that coL doesn't really have anything like that besides Z-Freak just moving around with the TP scroll. And Rocket will fly on Moo, more than likely not going to do anything. Now that you can run away from the Rocket and not take 500 damage, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a bit of a shift in both ways, right? Yep. Another attempt at mid, but spotted out.
Yeah, Limp doing a good job. Even without they don't really have a ward. They have one up aggressively by the Dire Shrine, but... and they have one to the left in the river, but it's not like it really sees Boba. Bottom lane, they're going in on MSS. He is level 5, trying to cleave him down. They're just farming up, pushing the tower at the same time. And Boba's here now. Says hello. Looks like that will be the end of that skirmish, but yeah, that's the problem. If you leave bottom alone, Jakiro, they can easily get a kill, easily push that tower in.
One thing they're not doing too much of is stacking the Ancients yet for this Sven.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They can take their time. Like, Limp can occasionally stack his own Ancient camp since he is such close proximity on the Radiant side. I would suggest that's something that he could look to. But the focus for Complexity has mostly been securing these lanes right now.
And Qualifier going a little on limp. Are we going to see a TP from MSS? Doesn't look like it. They'll just run away. Yeah, both teams, right? Because you have a Gyro on the other side, and nothing's really getting stacked up over there either.
I really like this build from Moo, by the way. This very stat-heavy build on the Vengeful Spirit, really capitalizing on the early damage, and gives you a significant amount of HP as well, with double the Wraith Bands as well as the Magic Wand.
HP and armor, right? 9 armor on the Venge with double Wraith and Wand.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a Vengeful Spirit that, again, can fight really well. I'm very surprised. I'm not sure if DC could put more pressure on the Venge if they had to redo this whole entire laning phase, if they would change that and try and shut her out early. I'm not sure how that would work.
But we do see DC is up 3-1. They have about a 500 gold lead. They're doing decently, but you do have to worry. That offlane Venge, I mean, she hits one of those things. You just get level 7, go to a lane, that minus armor. You just win a team fight so easily. And I think coL, honestly, out of the 4 teams we see in this tournament, are the best at just team fighting in general.
Yeah, they're super good at being able to coordinate their rotations.
Here we go, middle and Limp. Uh-oh, that's going to be a 3-man gank. Bulba's actually looking for TPs. He does see the Jakiro's coming. Limp will just go down. Gets Lagoon off. MSS a little bit of trouble, but Bulba gets that stun on Kyle. Nice Ice Path. Moo is now here. Body blocks by MSS's Treants, though. Nicely done by him. Double suck coming out of Qualifier. Will Kyle get away? Looks like they're going to go for Moo instead. He will go down, but MSS dies to Z-Freak on the back line. So it's a 2-for-1. DC wins that fight. Luckily, Z-Freak gets a little bit out of it, but they're going to lose a tier 1 too. They have the Siege unit plus Ghost still alive.
It's just, I was saying, Complexity are really good at making proper rotations to set up team fights. DC are the ones to actually do that, and that's all because of in part, the Furion. They're just able to bring the extra numbers to that mid-fight, and Complexity forced to TP rotate is just too much of a delay.
Bottom lane, though, Chesty, hey, he gets a tower. He's happy. His team may not be as happy as he is, but he'll take it. But look at that. Nice stun from Chesty, but oh, they're going to hold him in. So much damage coming. They hit the War Cry off, so he's going to tank up a little bit. Kyle's here, maybe trying to save him, but once that War Cry ends, he is going to be in the world of hurt, and unfortunately, he will just die here. Mason gets the kill, and nice rotation over. Chesty does get the tower, though. Probably not the best trade for him, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Man, look at this. I really don't think that Z-Freak has really accomplished a whole lot big in this laning phase, but he's still level 5. And again, that's what I would go back to is the Bounding Rune presence. So he's going to be able to get his level 6 by 10 minutes, because even if he doesn't get it, he'll have the tome available to him. So then we'll start feeling the effect of this support, because before, like, he really just can't match this Slardar in this laning phase and what he can do, right? Like, a Puck rotates mid on a Death Prophet, nothing's going to happen. But a Slardar rotates on a Lina, that's going to be a potential kill. So the Puck, they're going to have this turnaround point where the Puck may be a bigger factor than the Slardar once he has that ultimate.
Yep. And we do see he is level 5. That has to come because he solo killed MSS on the back end of that fight. Probably got a huge chunk of experience from the level 6 Furion.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, man, this DC, this whole thing of how they made it into the losers bracket right here reminds me of right during the TI qualifiers. They looked terrible for 3 days, right? But they made it to the playoff bracket. Didn't they win 3 series, 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 in a row? Just takes one good day and they're there again. But bottom lane, Rocket is on to Kyle here. Looks like, I think Kyle's dead here. They're gonna 4-man rotate down. Kyle goes down. And this should be possibly a tower as well. They don't really have creeps, but they do have the little treants with them from MSS.
DC are, again, playing this very well. It's the big difference, right? 2 big differences. One, you have the Furion, who's always going to give you the mobility and numbers advantage when you go for these kind of rotations. And 2, the Gyrocopter comes online a lot faster, and as we saw EG in the way they used the Gyrocopter, grouping up very early, rotating to other lanes, while Complexity a lot more static with their Sven, who's going to be focusing on farming. So DC, you're going to look at it, they are going to be up in kills by quite a lot. They're going to look like they're winning the game handedly, but this is the pace of game that's supposed to be happening with the difference in these 2 drafts.
Yeah, and look at this. They're just going to pressure tier 2. They know Venge is sitting up top. He's scared to push that tier 1 because they're playing out of vision. And man, this is going to be an extremely free tier 2 tower at 10 minutes in. And that's going to open up the, like, Sven, right? That kind of hurts Sven's farming now. They have to be so worried about DC invading their jungle all the time.
Yeah, it was the loss of that mid tower that really affects him too, because that loosens the hold the complexity have over the ancient camps, and those are the most important part of farming for a Sven.
And we already see DC has 2 deep wards in the jungle.
Look at them, they're taking out the ancient stack right now on DC.
On Mason. Mason's happy with it. He's holding it. All right. Can't wait to do 40 damage to those creeps. He does. No flat cannon, so just slowly do it up top. coL's just roaming around his form. Man, is it a DC thing? Because it really feels like DC slows down the game in a good way. They 5-man but farm together. And look at coL's forced to 4-man top. They smoke. But nothing's really happening with all this. But it could now. MSS. No, he knows. He knows something's up. Treants and runs.
I'm going to take a guess here that DC, they put a lot of prevalence on not giving up any pickoffs. And that's where I think you have this sort of 5-man mentality. When you're ahead, don't let them get the opportunity for situations like this.
Done and well, it's Demon. They get a kill though, and they want to. Looks like they want to take it into that tier 1 tower. Level 3 liquid fire up plus Moo.
I think they might be able to defend on DC though, because they have the ultimate from Mason, but it's going to be a choice thing here. Do they want to take the risk of fighting that and defending that mid tower?
Well, Mason's here at least, and he has the very heavy team fight max flat cannon 0 rocket barrage that is a very NA thing. We were watching Monet actually goes like the 3-4-1 build, gets rocket barrage, but Artesia and Mason obviously close friends. We'll do the same build. But now DC, look at this. They're defending with 3 heroes here, as well as MSS pushing top. And guess what? He can get to the fight anytime he wants. So DC just making a little bit better of the map. And oh, they find Zeepri on the back line. Bulba's in deep. He has an Arcane Rune. He almost has another stun up already. Mason's here. Orb is going to fly backwards. Rocket's soaring over. But MSS, he's going to try to make him dodge this first. And oh, nicely done the Rocket. Laguna flies out. MSS dies to that macro pyre, and what looked like a simple kill on a puck. It's never a simple kill on a puck, Cap.
Dude, he popped that base shift the first time, and I was like, uh-oh, doesn't that mean the rocket's going to hit you? He barely gets it off, just like a quarter second. It comes up just as the missile's about to hit him.
And that's a pretty big kill. They needed that. MSS thought it'd be a free one, and then perfectly placed spells by coL.
Okay, so Chessie, I think this is pretty important. He is going to go for the Blink Dagger next item after the Mask of Madness. This means the Sven is going to come online about right now. I think you'd like to be able to have maybe level 12 just to have the extra level of God Strength. But they do know they have to stop giving up all this map to DC. They have to actually go for a team fight soon. And Chessie with the Blink Dagger, they're finally capable of doing so.
Do you like the Blink Dagger before Echo Saber?
I think that, yeah, I do think that Svens are too slow if they go for the double, like, kind of farming item.
If they're not farming, like, amazingly well.
Yeah, unless you're like, your team is winning the game 4 versus 5 and you can double down on the greed, I think almost all Svens game, you have to go Blink Dagger second.
And Moo taking that -1 wave of Terror armor. That just shows they want to fight with the Sven. That 1 armor makes a ton of difference.
You don't keep transformations in your Vengeful Spirit form, right?
I don't believe
so Sven's not going to have God Strength or anything.
When that happens, I do not believe so.
Okay. But still, it is going to be...
Bulba actually already has a blink there. 14 minutes in, they go on Chess. He hits Warcraft. He pops his ulti. Bulba is just going to go down here. coL says, I'll take that. Liquid fires him, gets the kill. And they're just going to push in middle. And that was Bulba. I mean, nice blink dagger timing, but unfortunately doesn't
maybe
pay
not
off.
the time to use that blink dagger?
Not the timing on the timer. Yeah, that was... Oh, you blink uphill into a Sven when you only have 1 person there. That is a very interesting play.
And man, maybe if they just had 1 more hero, right? Yeah, I guess
MSS, but
yeah, he was thinking, maybe we'll have Furion come in with the call down and everything. But if the Sven does get off his God Strength, he just becomes too tanky, even to the magic damage from the gyro. And again, this is a gyro that won't have a ton of magic damage because only level 1 of the Rocket Barrage. So it's just the call down that comes in.
Oh, and this is a 3 Mask of Madness game. We have Moo getting 1. You already have Sven with 1, gyro as well. Remember that item was just completely off the map, what, like a year or 2 ago?
Yeah.
No one picked it up, and now, I mean, it's pretty much a must-have for any team fight or even farmer.
It seems like there's always these sort of early to mid-game farming items that are always going to be kind of the craze for all these cores. Once upon a time, it was Vlad's, right? Just because it gave you the sustain and okay stats. Now it's going to be Mask of Madness. same sort of item. It just gives you the sustain and farming power.
There we go, top lane. Qualifier, they'd love to take this tower without having to pop Ghost, maybe even go for a tier 2. We see DC, they love taking one tower, going right to the next. It doesn't seem like coL really wants to set up, but luckily enough for them, DC is just backing out instead. And no, I lied. Qualifier is just going to the side shop to buy some stuff, and there we go. They are going for this tier 2, and I don't think coL can do anything about this. They're just not going to rotate at all.
I don't think they should. Contesting tier 2s is notoriously hard, and DC would already be set up for the team fight anyway. You lose that fight, then they're going high ground with Qualifier popping Exorcism. So you can only go for the play in defending tier 3 at this point.
This is going to be some decent damage on the tower alone, even with just that Siege Unit and Treants. Well, Limp does a good job nuking him down, but oh, Siege Unit hasn't missed yet. Nice damage there.
DC has just forced most of complexity back to the base. They know that. Now it's just a question of what are they going to do with that? What kind of like map control are they going to look to take? Are they going to push down maybe into the Radiant jungle? This is about the time where you're going to see big smoke plays, I think, because everyone has their items to play, right? You've got Blink on the Sven. Roshan is a big objective that either team could do pretty easily. And initiation is everything for both of these teams.
And like 1 second after you said that, I don't know if it's a big smoke play yet, Cap, but it is a smoke play from coL. And they're just going to sit behind Moo right now.
Oh, DC, I think DC know that this is a potential smoke timing, the way they're playing together like this.
And watch out, he does have the Yules. Can they bring him down quick enough? Probably not. Oh, they can. What an ice path by coL. Bulba blinks forward, only hits on the puck. Chessie just running around the back. Oh my goodness. Chunks down Bulba easily.
Oh, they swap back too.
Over there, Demon gets the grave. Unfortunately, Moo is going to be picking you off no matter what. coL actually will get that kill, and they're just going to push uphill now. You have a level 2 aura on this vent. You got the Aquila. You still have God Strength on. It just goes off now, but gracious. That's a Rax coming at 17 minutes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, right? Is that you make a smoke play like that, you get a pickoff, it's Roshan. You get a good team fight, it's push high ground.
Yeah, this... Am I missing something? This was a friggin' 18-minute Rax out of... I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's just Sven's.
It's crazy. Just like that. That's the melee Rax as well. And look at this. Just a 2-stack, but still, they will steal it. And that is a lot of DC's farm. Mason, I mean, he's farmed. But it doesn't feel like he can't man fight. Even with Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yash, he only has 1,500 life. And Sven kills him.
Yeah, a really big problem is that Sven beats out all 3 of these cores in like team fights because they're all pretty fragile, damage-heavy cores. So Sven gets on top of them. All of them are threats.
This seems like a very aggressive play, and they know it's happening. Bulba does go forward onto Moo. He's level 12. We do see an Ice Path coming. Hits on 2 of them. Looks like they just want to get back, waste these ultimates. Qualifier wants to go in. If they can just get out of there with only coL. But wait, Limp wants to go in. Mason, if he Lagoon and Mason instead. They do bring Qualifier down as well as Mason. Well played's coming out. Bulba trying to run away. Chessie is just killing everyone. Has Blink up in 4. Or are they just going to check Roche?
That big swipe from Chessie bringing down both the Death Prophet and the Gyrocopter.
Oh my goodness. Chessie and Limp. Look at this, the 4 brothers in there. Moo, the only one to fall without a partner. And they're just going to take a Roche now. Well, looked to be a nice aggressive play. coL has been on point. These Ice Path, he zoned them out completely, hit 3 of them, all the Treants. He's played so well.
Look at that. Back over to that mid fight where they had this setup where they instantly killed a Death Prophet. And that's the problem. DP is so well countered by the fact that both Sven and Lina are really good at being able to just burst you down.
Like you said, that nice swap on Demon. If they still had that Grave, maybe Mason plus Grave could have defended that Rax, but quick heads-up play by Moo. Now, I mean, what do we got? Sven, he doesn't even want Echo Saber. He says, I'm skipping it. He goes full Sanjin Yasha and brings it out. Why Sanjin Yasha over Echo Saber? You just want a more sustained fighting, more usefulness with God Strength down?
I think it's a couple things. The movement speed combined with the slow of S and Y gives you a lot more chasing power against 2 very fast heroes in Death Prophet as well as the Gyrocopter. Tanks him up a bit more, I think, than the Echo Saber would. And you're also dealing with shallow graves, so bursting down someone may not actually be what happens, right? Like you're thinking, oh, if I just get 1, 2, 3 hits, then the hero's going to be super low. I can finish him off. But then Grave comes into play. 5 seconds that allows a gyro or DP to do whatever they want. Can change the fight significantly.
Since we see the DP, Yule's Hood, where do you want to go on this hero now? It feels like this hero, once you get these items, do you go BKB? Do you go just Octarine next? It's hard to farm on this hero when you're from behind too.
Hey, it's pretty tough. Like even a Ghost Scepter would be like a worthy item against this Sven right now, but then he leaves himself open to Laguna Blade. So the biggest thing that needs to change is not necessarily an item for DC, but an initiation. They cannot afford to be jumped on by complexity, but coL will always have an initiation advantage because mid lane's constantly pushing in. They're going to have better aggressive wards than you, and they have multiple sources of initiation as well between Chessie, Moo, as well as Z-Freak. All 3 of them can find the opening in a team fight.
I love that thing. With Chessie's double damage, they actually kill the shrine, so no crazy wonky plays. Hit him with that their own complexity wraparound. They're just gonna push it. Glyph is down now. Chessie has popped his ultimate, and he's just chunking this tower. So can't blink dodge the rocket unless the team kills it. They do not. Bottom or top lane, MSS is just pushing in himself, but I don't know. Will it be good enough? Chessie's just gonna take this rack down. War cries up. Ulti will fly from Mason to scare him back a little bit. MSS will get a tier 3 top. Are we gonna see a jump in from anyone?
If they're gonna fight, it should be soon with God's Strength down for 50 seconds.
Yep. And they know, obviously, they saw the weave go up. They're like, we cannot find this. Limp,
oh no!
Barely misses. And now Slarter's in trouble, actually. Bulba just goes down instantly. Kyle with another nice ice path zones him out, and he might be the one to die here. No TP, I mean, he's dying. He's just gonna bait him away from the rest of his team.
Yeah.
And he will get some extra damage off. So it's a tier 3 for tier 3 when 1 Rax is already, oh, the siege unit. It gets the last hit, and melee barracks goes down. I love siege units. God bless them.
Man, that was so close to being exactly the fight that DC needed to take. Strategically speaking, they played that out correctly, right? We just go for the split push, wait till God's Strength is down, then we force the fight as they're trying to retreat and defend top lane. So if they actually caught Limp with a stun from the Slardar, then boom, they get a really good team fight. They get an important core trade-off, most importantly, and then they also get the advantage in the split push as well.
But now, actually, the ranged barracks does fall middle as well to the creeps, and they've killed most of the extra buildings and even some damage on those tier 4s. No more regen, Cap. How do you feel about that change?
I know how you feel about that change.
Yeah, but I asked you, Cap.
I think it was okay.
Well, okay, what? Why do you think the regen would be good?
I was not the biggest opponent of buffing teams that are left against Megas. And that's what a tier 4 regen buff does, right? It gives you better opportunity to be able to win the game against Megas. So I was not totally opposed to that, but it did become a little obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, and BKB popped up. Well, not popped yet, but Gyro does have it. Unfortunately, Chessie is just melting down their couch. They're going to go for it. Rocket does hit. They're doing a lot of damage. He still has the Aegis, so Mason pops the BKB, trying to flat can him down. There's so much armor, though. Chessie does go down. Z-Freak still alive. He's hiding in the trees. Doesn't have any spells up yet. Limp does kill the tower. And Qualifier, that's Sven illusion. Apparently when you die with Aegis, still comes out from the Vengeful, does a ton of damage. Nice stun by Limp. Swap that comes on Bulba. He should die here. He does. The 1-for-0 trade right now. Mason just 1v1 fighting. Nice silence by Qualifier on it. 3 of them. He's taking down the Lina. Now he's going to go for Kyle. Can they get away? They're just trying to run. Chessie gets thrown up into the air. He does have Blink, but unfortunately goes on cooldown. But they just turn on him. But Demon, nice grave. They're going to chase down Chessie. Nice stun coming out from Limp, saving his brother. Mason coming. Laguna flies. Qualifier drops. And now Kyle, he has a drums of his own. He's going to speed his team up. Nice ice path hits on Demon, and unfortunately he does not have mana for the grave. He should go down here easily.
Check out bottom lane though. MSS is about to take a melee Rax.
Is he though?
Is he or not?
Unfortunately, it is a melee Rax, and those will heal up.
Yeah, he's not able to finish it off, so they have to go back to defending.
And Limp's here. He has a 4-step though. Oh no, and Demon could just, or Bulba could go down again. Grave comes out. Moo. 4-step forward from himself. Hurricane Pike, pardon me, and he will survive. Rocket will be flying all that way. But they're going to continue chasing. They know where Kyle and Limp are. They're going to go. Will Kyle just run back in? No, they smoke up to get that extra move speed. I like it. But unfortunately, Bulba's here. He finds Limp, tosses him up, minus armor, gets orchided. MSS could be in trouble too, but the suicide comes out, doesn't heal Kyle because Bloodstone unfortunately doesn't do that anymore. And there you go. DC does totally win a fight. Whoa, MSS though.
The rage creep. Get him, rage creep. Get him.
Oh,
Oh.
that weave. The weave gave him so much armor. Couldn't quite do it. I'm surprised Z-Freak as a position for support. I'm actually surprised he didn't just suicide for it.
Yeah.
With the 1-for-1 trade, I don't know, maybe. But still, coL, I would say technically winning that fight doesn't have to expend Vivex, gets to tier 3, and the Rax doesn't fall bottom. If the Rax fell, DC was happy with that.
The Furion offlane is both simultaneously losing them team fights because they don't have extra catch, right? They like as Slider jumps, they pop exorcism, heroes just run away. They don't have any follow-up to really make sure the heroes stay on complexity. They stand and fight against the exorcism, so they just run away. But at the same time, it is winning them the game because it's giving them all this split pushing and opportunity to be able to make successful trade-offs. So MSS, the game is entirely resting on his shoulders right now.
Kind of like that game Complexity actually lost yesterday, right? When it was Z-Freak pushing in towers. They ended up winning the series, but it felt like it was all on him. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. But Chessie, the big items here. He's level 18 with a BKB, fresh 10 seconds. And it feels like 1-5-1 with a BKB where you just chop Mason down could definitely be the end.
Yeah, pushing into the high ground without BKB was acceptable only because they had Aegis.
Oh my goodness, Lina just bought a Desolator. Full Deso after 4-step. Doesn't even go the Hurricane Pike.
Okay.
Interesting. What? I mean, I understand like why you get the Desolator, but that feels a little glass cannon-y on Alina.
Yeah, it does. At the same time, though, you've won the game if you can actually take objectives faster than the Furion, right? You just get the Megas. You still have a tier 2 up in mid lane.
Full
That's
HP
the biggest,
as well.
yeah, that's the biggest advantage Complexity have right now is that they can completely ignore the impact of the Furion if they get Megas, because there's no chance a Furion can go through that mid lane.
Since we see these Treants trying to take down Shrines, like you said, MSS doing a lot by himself while his team tries to find pickoffs elsewhere. And it's going to be a Sheep Stick on the Nature's Prophet next. Still has a bit to go. Roshan will respawn in 130. We might see the next big fight. Oh, Limp. All right. Bottles up that Arcane Rune. That's huge. You fiery Soul Stacks. You will never lose those during a team fight.
Yeah, you just throw out spell after spell.
Doesn't even matter where you throw them at.
Yeah. With the physical damage upgrade that he's got, right clicks do quite a lot. Also enabling the spin.
This guy on the 4 position. He's 10,000 net worth, has boots of travel. Now MSS, so much harder for him to split push against that. It's a Blink Ewell's Veil boots of travel. Z-Freak understands. He's so greedy, but at the same time, he's just always in the right spot, right time. And now bottom lane. Could be something happening here. Another smoke from DC. This might be their last one. They've been popping smokes quite a bit, and they're pinging out middle actually. Limp and Kyle are there. They're moving over. We do see the weave coming out. Armor stacking high. Oh, Limp. He was running up that hill. He's like, maybe not. I'll go over this way. And he's actually stacking Fiery Soul, and they're not going to find anyone. Weave's about to wear off here in about 5 seconds.
They really needed this. Wow. So DC recognized the place that they're in. Split push can't win them the game. So they had to get a fight outside of the base, especially with the Roshan timer. Like, Roshan could spawn at any time right now. So they know they need to be able to contest Roshan. They have to get a fight outside of their base. Unfortunately, the smoke just doesn't land. They don't get an opportunity for a pickoff.
Yeah, and it looked like Limp was going to run up that hill, and then at the last second, he's like, I'm good. That other hill looks cooler to run up, and he does. And now they're just going to go for this. Will Bulba try to initiate? Nope. Chessie actually goes back himself.
If you're coL, you don't take the risk of pushing high ground, because if you lose that fight, you give up Roshan. All you do is threaten like you're going to go high ground, force DC back inside their base, giving you control of the Roshan area.
All the meanwhile, Puck can just farm up all these treants. MSS, it's just Z-Freak and MSS trading farm while the other 4 kind of run around. And oh my goodness. That is a extremely quick Roshan. The Medallion as well as Wave of Terror plus Desolator.
Yeah, that's a
my god.
Armor.
And there we go. Now Lina, very right-clicky, yep. Obviously, it was a little bit better for Lina's when it was that 25 with the ×3, or you know what I'm saying, the 3 extra stacks of a little more, but Lina's still quite the right clicker.
Chessie took a little while before he finally picked up his talent. I don't think there's any way this is a Dispel game from the Stormhammer unless he really hated Bulba. you know? And he was just like, I want to take away his sprint too.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, just get rid of him. But he will take the...
I think the only time that Dispel is a thing is like if you're Sven versus Omni Knight, or I don't know, I'm struggling to even think of another hero that warrants that over the lifesteal.
I mean, Dispel, I mean, not bad versus Weave, right?
Okay, sure.
Weave off, right?
Yeah.
Not terrible,
Not
but
bad.
he obviously already took the lifesteal, so, I mean, he pops that BKB, doesn't even need the Satanic, has the Mask of Madness as well as that now. And they're going in, Moo, Shadow Bladed up, there's a Sentry down though, they already see him, and he's just swinging. He is swinging on that melee, they're gonna go back, there's still 2 people sitting bottom. Bulba actually is waiting for Z-Freak, Glyph does fly, Rocket will dink him in the head. Mason, Black Kenny trying to slow him down, but look at this, he doesn't care. He gets the BKB up, and see you later. Melee rack goes down. They're moving forward. Moo just right clicks, and look at that damage coming out from Limp.
Has fallen.
But that's that. They take a full set of racks, and I don't think they're going to get punished at all. Not even Kyle's going to die.
Bulba might catch somebody, but it's just too far.
Now he can. He was like, oh, maybe I can get Chessie, and then Liv shows up. That would have not have been a pleasant surprise for him. MSS is actually... Kyle's gonna be, wait, Kyle just lost his smoke. I wonder if he noticed top. Well, I think he did. He's like, wait a minute, what the hell? Why did I lose a smoke over here? And Kyle's just gonna TP. He has a gem now. As DC, Cap, you're now the coach of DC. You're in their ears. What do you tell them to get back into this?
Prepare for Megas, boys.
Prepare for, I mean, they have a gyro.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Medusa, that's probably the best.
that guaranteed. No, almost no matter how this game goes, Megas is going to be achieved by complexity. But DC, very slim possibility, but they could win against it anyway.
That is the one good thing. Gyro
Super
Medusa. Very good against those Megas, but
you need some, like, you have to push for some Divine Rapier Gyrocopter sort of situations, you know? This is kind of cool, though. DC,
They might try to go for an early engagement here. They wouldn't expect it. They have a full weave almost on him right now. And there's a rocket on him. Oh, Jesse. Oh my god, the double stun comes out. What a play by Z-Freak. Mason pops BKB. He might have just also popped the loss. Can they go in? Moo just right-clicking Point, but he's BKB too. The damage from Limp coming out in Chessie. They're just running him down. He's gonna use himself in the air. He doesn't even have Ghost out. Doesn't even have it off cooldown. He goes down. More than likely, we might see the GG call. Kyle thinks he is. And there it is. Good game happened. My God.
Grant, out of all the ways you set up this sneaky little team fight, you're like, all right, we're going to jump out. How are we going to start this fight? Homing missile?
On a puck.
It's like literally was just like, hey, we're here, guys.
And he shows it. But man, that was, after that happened, Z-Freak's like, wait, what? And he gets the blink in, double silence, double coil, which sets it up for the stun. Like, he couldn't even get BKB off in time on Mason. And what a play. I mean, low scoring, though. 17 to 11. Like we've been saying, DC plays a little bit slower. They're not prone to those crazy mistakes they do. But complexity takes it, I would say, reasonably easy after, like,